An Arizona desert community hits 110 degrees today. Yeah, it's the highest March temperature ever recorded in the U.S., Dani. Palm Springs was close. It was 107 there today.
107 degrees. That was actually today that they hit 107, Pat. Again, potentially tomorrow, so breaking all kinds of records. That was Martinez Lake in Arizona breaking that crazy record today. That's the kind of heat that we're dealing with, not just in Southern California, but up and down the West Coast. It's this giant heat dome that's been sticking with us, not budging, bringing us the heat, and we're going to do it again going into tomorrow, potentially breaking more records. Tomorrow's highs 93 in Anaheim, 104 degrees in Riverside. So for our inland communities, some of us will see our hottest temperatures of the week tomorrow, if you can believe it. But actually, some of our beaches are starting to cool into the 70s and 80s, and that's because we're starting to see that sea breeze pulling in some of that dense fog, that shallow marine layer. So let's talk about what's going to happen next over the next couple of days. And the moment we finally start to cool down, I know that's what everybody is hoping for. One more day with this next weather alert, and that is for all of our communities. Temperatures still 20 to 25 degrees above average. Things are getting cooler soon, though. Look at Riverside tomorrow. Okay, we've got triple digits, but we're going to get to Sunday, and now we're dropping about 8 to 10 degrees. Highs in the 90s by then. You know, this is still warm. This is still above average, but we're not dealing with the extreme that we've seen over the past couple of days. Now, the good news in all of this is things have been getting comfortable overnight into the mornings. We've got one more day in the 100s, so things skyrocket again. Some cooling this weekend, but even with that cooling, we stay warm next week. We're just not talking triple digits. This high pressure system, nothing changes until this ridge moves it or loses it. And that's going to happen as we go into our Saturday. He's going to start to crawl further east, and this is what brings us changes. Already starting tomorrow, though, some of our beach communities feeling those changes. San Clemente, Hermosa Beach, highs in the mid to upper 70s going into tomorrow, and that's because some patchy dense fog will be popping up right there along the coast. Mornings looking pretty good. We've got 60s to start the day, and you can see in Burbank, we'll see 90s once we get to the afternoon. So another really hot day here in Southern California. 90s for folks in downtown LA, the San Gabriel Valley, San Fernando Valley, up through the high deserts, and then triple digits are back in the Inland Empire. 70s over at the beaches. Let's go in depth on those temperatures because you guys, a hot spot this week and going into tomorrow. It's been the Inland Empire. We're back to the 90s and 100s, but this is the last day, so hold on. We're almost there. Things will start to trend further downward once we get into the weekend. We've got 99 in Covina, 96 back in Yorba Linda, 91 in Anaheim. If you're sick of this heat, we are all there with you, and we are finally going to notice those changes going into the weekend. Saturday, still hot, mid-90s, but we'll start to drop Sunday going into early next week. You know, this is still above average, but you guys, we're going in the right direction. We'll take 80s and 90s over triple digits any day. Valleys will be in the triple digits Friday, 90s Saturday, back down to the 80s and 90s early next week, lower 90s. That's 10 degrees cooler than the past couple of days. In the Inland Empire, tomorrow is going to be baking hot, but we start to cool Saturday, Sunday. Going into next week, we still have 90s, so IE still dealing with the heat. Beaches will be in the 80s, mountains in the 70s, and high deserts in the 80s and 90s. So, Pat, not super cool, but you know what? We'll take that over the triple digits any day.
You bet we will. All right. Thank you, Dani.
CBS LA Next Weather at 6 is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Have a great tip or story idea? Maybe you want to share breaking news video? Just text the desk. You can even ask us questions or express concerns about what's happening in your community. Text the desk at 818-221-2222.
We are CBS LA. We are yours.